Electricast.
Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Dollar bets, dollar bets, dollar bets. I said it wrong. It doesn't sound right out of my mouth. Nor does many things. No. All right.
Don't cut. Like, same take. Here we go. Dollar bets, dollar bets, dollar bets.
There you go. I love it.
Oh, what up, Z?
Hey, man. Are you driving home from miserable football?
Driving home from miserable football in miserable weather.
It looks cozy.
It was cold.
It was Michigan State hosting Rutgers.
A couple times to warm up, and I got some hot cocoa at one point.
Ooh, you know, I was going to ask that. You asked our middling at best coach a softball question, because that's all he's capable of answering, I'm sure. And that's cool. I like that you got to do that. And you do it with a straight face. This is what the mainstream media needs to be doing, is just ask the question. Extend the olive branch. Keep your opinions to yourself. Journalism, baby. Sports journalism, though, isn't like that necessarily. So we can say what we want on dollar bets. We have a trashy, not trashy behavior-wise necessarily, but trash bin program at the moment. We'll say at the moment, because the season's over for Michigan State. Season's over for most of your teams, because there's only 12 teams make the playoff, and your bowl games don't matter. Sorry, it's nice for your fans to get excited about going and stay at a Sheraton in whatever city, but it's over. Like, if you're the 12 or you're not the 12. So who's the 12, right? We'll get to that. I think that's our power segment for the day, or lead in. But O's driving right now. So is this a road rage, or is this a try to survive the snow while I ramble episode?
So the weather is actually not a problem right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going cruise control and faster than I thought I was going to be able to drive. So this is great.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of road rage, but there's not enough cars on the road to instigate the rage.
No, you raged at the football you witnessed that you voluntarily went to.
I feel more melancholy than anger, I think.
Isn't Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness was actually a MSU-themed album by Smashing Pumpkins? It was MSU football themed. Despite all our rage, we are still just a rat in a cage. Despite all my rage, we're still 6-6 every day.
I'm gonna say this, I was on the field today, which was fun for about the first quarter and a half. The game just got way out of hand.
Yeah, it did.
And then, the cold just becomes even more apparent. I don't want to be out here. But it definitely felt, probably by mid-third quarter, that this team was no longer trying. They just wanted this game to be over. They knew they weren't coming back.
Yeah, you meant third quarter of the Illinois or Indiana game, right?
The heart was no longer there. The air came out of the ball.
The flesh and the heart were not willing.
Yeah.
The NIL-infused education was willing, but that was about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, here's what I thought. If we had won the game, I said this earlier to a Michigan fan. I was like, don't you think instead of us going to these weird bowl games, that MSU and Michigan, because they did not make the playoff, they should just play in the Detroit City Rage Bowl and buy off the MAC team or whatever, Sun Belt team that was going to go there. Day after Christmas, drop their pretense. We hate them. They hate them. Everyone hates them. They hate us as well. Let's play. Run it back. Weather agnostic. Detroit City. Ford Field. Kick up the tires. Let's fucking go. That would sell out, would it not?
It is it going to take under this new playoff system with 12 teams, and they'll probably expand it shortly anyway? At what point are the bowl games below those playoff bowl games going to just completely disappear?
The streamers are gonna buy them.
Who's going to buy them?
The streamers. My prediction is the streamers buy the games.
So there's going to be like a bunch of Netflix bowls.
Yeah, everything is content, right? You're on the Lifetime bowl, you know. That's like, and the Lifetime Network bowl.
Go for too long if Lifetime was your go-to example.
No, you know, it's just like secondary networks, streamers that don't even exist yet. Like, there's still gonna be these games. However, I think they're not gonna have conference tie-ins anymore. Like, every conference is gonna get opportunities, but you're just gonna pick from these. They have to fill spots, right? And so, partially to fill spots, you're gonna have, like, I was only half joking, like, why not have a rematch or have a match of the 9th place team and the 6th place team of a conference that didn't get to play each other that year, but they don't like each other, and put it in a different city? Like, that would completely work. How would that not work? Like Michigan and Michigan State and Detroit.
Have, like, the system of college basketball has, where they have, like, the NCAA tournament and then the NIT and then what's the other one below NIT, the NBI or something.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Maybe they'll have just, like, other, like, 16, well, there'll be, like, a 16-team field and then the next 16-team field. And
Toilet tournament. Who you playing in the toilet tournament? We got Akron in the first round. Kent State didn't even make the toilet tournament by going 0-12, but, like, Akron, you're there, baby. Let's go. Let's zip those zips. But no, don't you think that would work? Like Detroit against Detroit, Oklahoma against Oklahoma State. Like, I mean, Michigan against Michigan State, not Detroit against Detroit. So you put, like, the oil bowl, and put it in, like, Oklahoma City's parking lot, the Thunder's parking lot. Like, I mean, get creative, right? Like, I mean, we came up under, like, Mark Hollis, like, let's play in space bullshit. So it's like, maybe we just are bored and we want something else.
I mean, I was already thinking that there was too many bowl games, so I kind of like my idea of them just getting rid of everything that's not a playoff.
Yeah, but then there's less things to dollar bet on, right?
There's what?
There's less things to dollar bet on you on. I don't think you want to go toe to toe with only regular season college basketball when I watch, like, and track, like, way too much, because I'm like, I know when Judge Wapner comes on, I know I'm Rain Man, dude. Like, not that I pick winners, but I'm gonna pick winners more than someone that doesn't, like.
Yeah, but if you think that I'm gonna be dollar betting you on, like, the Poinsettia Bowl, well, I'm gonna just tell you right now, you're mistaken.
Why? You know, you realize you bet me on, like, Bolivian yellow cards, and you won. The more obscure it is, the more likely I'm going to be overconfident or just desperate to bet, and then you're not going to be, but you'll do it and you'll win. Reluctance breeds profit. That's what we've learned from 44 episodes of Dollar Bets.
I really don't want to have to do the homework into comparing and contrasting the teams in the Pinstripe Bowl.
I mean, that's, you just go with the.
I just don't want to do that.
No, I'm talking about college basketball. Like, I mean, you don't want other stuff to bet on besides college basketball, right? Because NBA regular season, it's like, what are we gonna do with that? Like, what are we gonna do with that? You know, we talk about big ideas with pro sports and other college, but like the game to game shit, it gets nitty gritty when you're talking about NBA or hockey or something. Like, soccer is a one-off, right? Like, footballs are one-offs. Basketball is tougher. Anyways, like, yeah, I do think you're right in that they're going to fade out, but they're not going to disappear. They'll just change. That could be a possibility of, like, the non-playoff, the cusping tournament, like you're edging towards next season. And there could be, like, NIL at stake or something. Make it a 4 or 8 team tournament of, like, Vanderbilt, South Carolina, Minnesota is doing okay. Sorry, that's 2. That's it. Baylor. Are there 4 more? Memphis. There's got to be 3 more, right? UNLV if they don't win the conference tournament. Oh, they don't. I think Colorado State made it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so UNLV, Memphis, Syracuse, Duke. Yeah, we got an 8-team garbage like NIL edge off. That works. We just fixed it. We just fixed football. And then you still have these toilet bowls that air on Lifetime's, whatever Lifetime streamer is. And every commercial, as a rule, has to be Snoop Dogg. It doesn't matter what. Because if you're going to do this, you have to really do this and hammer it down people's throats that this guy will sell anything. And so will Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg will pitch literally anything. Okay, so
All right. Let's get back to the modern day.
playoffs?
Playoffs.
Okay, so I don't have our things up, but I know. Let's just go over ballpark the teams that are not participating in that we picked. So we'll start with you because you might be able to remember it if we jump on it right away. Who's out from your playoff? LSU, Alabama,
LSU's out.
Utah.
So Alabama sneaks in if there's enough chaos today.
No, South Carolina winning. I think they have more juice than Alabama does.
Yeah. You said Tennessee ended up winning.
Yeah, they're in.
Okay. Yeah, that one hurts Alabama. And there was one let's see. Notre Dame beat USC.
Yeah, they had a couple interceptions, like run back. One of them got run. I think they both got run back for touchdowns or something. I don't know. They had a couple interceptions late, sealed it.
I mean that Clemson loss, assuming Clemson. Well, Clemson obviously beat SMU. In the ACC.
No, Alabama has no chance. Alabama's no chance, right? Because Clemson, like you said, Clemson beating SMU. That just is added a 3-loss team that Alabama can't win their conference. So it's like I think SMU gets the 12th spot if Clemson beats them, having 2 losses to a conference, because they're not punishing conference title teams that were already in the top 12. I don't think. I think that sets a bad precedent, right?
Right.
Miami's out for sure. Like they're done.
Who?
Miami.
They're a 2-loss team, aren't they? And they were number 6 coming into this weekend.
Yeah, but they're done. They're done. Keep in mind, like, was SMU even in the top 12? I think they were.
Was like 11 or 12.
Boise feels like a lock, right? Even if they lose to Colorado State.
Boise, yeah, I mean, they'll be the Group of 5 representative.
No, it's the champ.
For
It's
that,
wait, hold on.
the bye.
No, isn't it the champ? It's the highest ranked conference champ of the Group of 5, right?
No. The byes go to the 4 highest ranked.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying that the I might have it wrong, that the highest ranked conference champion of the Group of 5 conferences automatically makes the playoff.
Automatically make the playoff, but they can still also be one of the top 4.
Yeah, well, that's not happening unless it's Boise, which it's probably happening. If Clemson wins and Boise wins, then Clemson's definitely 5th. The 5, like, they're definitely going to be a lower seed.
Well,
Same thing for A&M, right?
No, the Big 12 is the conference. It's not going to be in the top 4.
Why did Arizona State not make the conference title game?
I don't know, but they're all 2 and 3 loss teams over there.
Yeah, Arizona State is way better than Clemson, dude. I would put Arizona State over SMU. SMU hasn't beaten
I'm just
anybody.
saying none of them are a top 12 team.
Yeah, but Arizona,
The only
SMU.
reason they're going to get in is by
Yeah.
winning that conference. They're only going to get one team from that conference.
I don't know. I
Their
mean,
11th or 12th line.
if Arizona State What were they ranked in the last playoff ranking? Let me pull this up because you're driving. You're literally driving.
Yeah, look this shit up, dude.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it just feels
14, if I'm not mistaken.
it feels like a lock that Arizona State wins that fucking conference, right? That's 3. One more, we can't do it. All right, sorry. Arizona State playoff ranking. Okay.
I read this morning that coming into this final weekend, there were 9 teams in the Big 12 that had a mathematical chance of making it into the conference championship. That's ridiculous. Just all sort of weird tiebreakers, permutations.
Yeah. Well,
9 teams were still alive in the final weekend.
yeah, but Arizona State and Colorado and the winner of Iowa State and BYU, it's between those 3, so I don't know who has the tiebreaker. I think Arizona State's in. I think they get in if yeah, okay, so here you go. Thank you for saying that. Arizona State is actually 16th. So yeah, Oregon's in regardless. So right. Let's just assume, and by assume I mean it's going to happen. Oregon's going to beat Penn State. It's James Franklin. Oregon State is Oregon, sorry. Faux pas. Oops. Oregon is the 1 seed, 100%. Texas or Georgia at this point, because Texas is winning.
What's going on with the Texas A&M game? Has that started?
Yeah, Texas is up 7-0 with 10 minutes left, and they're driving. 1st and 10 at the 23. No, sorry, it's second quarter.
Which quarter?
Second quarter.
Yeah, okay.
Oregon's up 21-6. That game's over. They don't blow leads, man. They just they stumble sometimes. They're not going to blow like a 21-6 lead at Washington. Washington's bad. Okay, so here at Alabama, they did win. They're 9-3. They're knocking on the door with Ole Miss and South Carolina. Okay, so here's the thing: teams that are below 15-16 at South Carolina, Arizona State. You got Iowa State, BYU. So the winner of that is in Colorado. Those teams are all kind of in the conversation Iowa State, Kansas State winner. This is so confusing. Let's just say it's Arizona State and they don't get a bye and SMU wins. Okay, let's just make it easier to say that. So, and we'll say Texas wins. We'll do our simple thing and then we'll do our complicated, right? So you got Oregon 1 seed, Texas 2 seed. They beat Georgia. 3 seed is SMU. 4 seed is Boise. 5 seed doesn't have to be a conference champion, right?
No.
Okay.
5 can be anybody.
So the 5 seed then becomes Notre Dame.
Yeah.
The 6 seed becomes Tennessee. The 7 seed is Georgia.
I think you'll probably have the next Big Ten team invited.
Yeah, the 8 seed is Indiana. The 9 seed is Penn State. Right?
Penn State, because they have the second loss.
Yeah,
Right?
But it's like saying they basically tied. You're not penalizing Penn State too much for losing Oregon. However, they didn't beat anybody. They didn't play Indiana, so what do? You make them freaking play each other in the 8-9 game, right? And that leaves... Ooh, this gets interesting.
You got to put one line reserved for your Big 12 champion.
Yeah, I think the Big 12 champion gets the 10 seed.
Okay. And then, what do you got? One more Big 10 team and one more
No.
SEC?
Oh, Ohio State. My bad. Ohio State gets a 10. I think the 11 seed is then the Big 12 winner. And then the 12 seed goes to either Alabama, Ole Miss, or South Carolina.
Alabama or South Carolina?
Alabama, Ole Miss, or South Carolina.
Okay. So those are the 3 teams that the committee is considering.
Yeah,
To
that.
know who they're going to put in.
You think it's going to be Alabama?
Like the ranking to have Alabama in there because Alabama's a bigger name.
They don't need a bigger name to sell freaking 12 games or 12 teams, though. There's a difference when it's 4. This is a game. What are these games on December 19th? Like, all right, on a Tuesday at 4 o'clock, you're shopping for Christmas stuff, and it's like, Oh, there's football on. Oh, I was going to watch it, but it's not Alabama. Like, no. Because the 5 seed is Notre Dame, so they're going to put Notre Dame, Alabama, is what you're saying, right? And I'm going to say it's Notre Dame against...
I don't know how it's going to fall, but, like, Indiana, South Carolina is not going to get viewers.
No, Indiana's not getting his 12 seed. That's clear, because they lost one game.
I didn't put them in the 12. I was making a matchup. I was naming 2 teams.
Right. Well, Notre Dame clinched the 5 seed, dude. Like, for sure.
Okay. Maybe I'm talking about, like, the 8-9 game or whatever it's going to be.
No, the 12 seed or the 12 seed is going to make the controversy. It'll be talked about so they can expand it to 16. You got to think what these talking what creates more drama and controversy and conversation. When ultimately the only team of those 3, Alabama, Ole Miss, or South Carolina, that could foreseeably get to the semis or further is Alabama, right? So are you going to say that those teams are better than that? I mean, the only one with a good win of those teams is Ole Miss or South Carolina, right? Alabama and Ole Miss don't beat Georgia, though, right?
Alabama definitely has the best wins out of that trio. They probably also have the worst loss, the Oklahoma game.
They lost to Oklahoma and Vanderbilt.
Yeah. But I think just from the eye test, like, best, like, Alabama playing at their best is definitely better than those other teams. Like,
I disagree. Right now or throughout the course of the season?
No, I'm saying, like, when you've seen this year Alabama at their peak, it's a really good team. It's the team that punched Georgia in the face in the first half.
The first, but you're talking about one half of one game.
Yeah, I guess it's the team that absolutely destroyed LSU at LSU, shut out Mizzou at Mizzou.
The backup quarterback for most of the game.
All right.
Okay. All right. And no, South Carolina's been the best team down the stretch. Ole Miss dismantled Georgia for the entire game. So I just don't think Alabama holds water.
What was the final score in that game?
The Georgia Ole Miss game?
Yeah, it was like a 10-point game.
No. It was like 17 or 13, I think. It was fuck, what?
Uh-oh. We might have some road rage coming up.
28-10, dude.
Was it 28-10?
Yeah. They beat Arkansas by 32. They lost in overtime to You know what? They beat South Carolina by 24. They lost in overtime to LSU. I think Kentucky and Vanderbilt is kind of the same type of thing when you lose to them. They beat Oklahoma.
Coming to a complete stop on the freeway. What the hell? Road rage is...
Road rage playoffs.
What is this? What is this?
Oh my gosh. Well, it is like snowy and stuff, or was snowy and icy.
No,
I mean,
this has got nothing to do with weather.
Are we talking about union contracts and asphalt unions here? Mafia stuff?
Better not be construction on a Saturday night at 9 p.m.
This is mid-Michigan mafioso business that we're delving into. Playoff segue into mid-Michigan mafioso stuff.
Miles according to my map.
Okay.
This is killing my time. I was making great time.
All right, here's the thing. I think you're right, though, honestly, what they end up doing. But because they can get away with it better because it's 12 teams. So, like, if you really had an argument, don't lose 3 games. And not have a former Heisman Trophy candidate. Right?
Yeah.
But Alabama's not beating anybody in the playoff. Ohio State, I'm going to call it. Alabama, Ohio State.
What the matchups are, I think there's definitely teams that are getting in that Bama could beat.
Notre Dame, it doesn't matter. They're 11th or 12th, so they're playing Notre Dame or whoever the 5 or 6 that's not Notre Dame. So that's Georgia. I mean, even with 3 losses, I think Georgia would get a higher seed because they don't suck. I don't think Indiana and Penn State get a 6 seed. I don't think they get that high. With Penn State, this is also on the theory that Oregon dismantles them, right? So I think, okay, the eye test says South Carolina. The actual results of the games that were won and the narrowness of the losses say Ole Miss, and the money says Alabama.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be the eye test because that makes too much sense. Who's been playing great the last 6 weeks? Who deserves this by actually winning the rivalry game on the road and not blowing games and needing 8 overtimes and things like that? Like, who deserves it based on, if this was the NCAA tournament, who would you not want to play? South Carolina. If you're thinking this is like, they're essentially an 8-9 game, right? Like, theoretically, you can make a Final Four or even a title game, but like, as the 8-9 NCAA tournament, but it's a prototypical, like, this team's either going to get blown out or blow someone out. Or every game is a 20-point game or a double overtime game, and there's 8-9s, right? So, I mean, I test South Carolina, because, I mean, I watched them today. They look good. They look really good. I mean, they have a freshman quarterback. They did make a couple mistakes, but they still look really good. They have the best coach of the three, I think. Shane Beamer is really good. Ole Miss has the best quarterback now, but the other guy, South Carolina guy's a freshman. He also had some injuries. If they take injuries into account, South Carolina losing their quarterback against LSU is honestly the difference maker between them not being 10-2. They were up by 17-0, and the quarterback got hurt at some point earlier in the season. So I don't know, man. That's what I say. I test South Carolina. Power rankings of like actual results of the games. Ole Miss beating Georgia by 18. Ole Miss beating Oklahoma, and Alabama lost to Oklahoma. Ole Miss beating South Carolina 27-3. I think that's what you got right there. And the losses: Ole Miss, Florida by 7, heartbreaker. LSU on the road again, as well as Florida, heartbreaker. Walk-off touchdown. And the third one was Kentucky, heartbreaker, missed kick. But then that goes to like, you should have done it. So then if you eliminate Ole Miss because of they had these opportunities, they lost these close games, and you say Alabama beat Georgia too, right? So it's like, that doesn't count. Well, we're counting Alabama's win. I don't think Alabama is remotely deserving, and I think they'll be based on the product they'll put out there. Because how do you not apply those same standards to like you did to Florida State? Which made sense, by the way. If you only have to pick 4 and you were looking for competitive games, Florida State would have got slaughtered. And they did without those other guys, but like no Travis, Florida State is just a totally mid-coach team last year. And this year, no Travis, no those other guys, garbage. But I bet, I don't know if I said this to you while you were at the game, but I bet a day would rather have taken DJ Okalele than frickin' Howard and let McCord go have one bad game all year and then dominate the rest of them through the air with an okay Syracuse team and go frickin' 9-3 and like you telling me McCord couldn't score 14 points against Michigan with those receivers? Yeah. Who gets the Ohio State job after they lose in the playoff?
I don't know. It does feel like Day is done.
He should be done. He literally said we're going to war stuff. He used the war analogy, which basically pulled like a Roy Williams 9/11 comment level type of garbage. And then also, let me give you this quote from Day's. Okay, he said. Oh, and by the way, the police used pepper spray apparently the police are probing use of pepper spray. Say that 4 times fast. In Michigan-Ohio State melee. And then he said, okay, this is great. I'm finding a Day quote for you. Oh, here we go. This is great. This is why you should also be fired. I don't know all the details of it, but I know these guys are looking to put a flag on our field. And our guys weren't going to let that happen. I'll find out exactly what happened. Which is the only thing that's remotely approaches accountability. But this is our field. And certainly, we're embarrassed of the fact that we lost the game, but there's some prideful guys in this team that weren't going to just let that happen. Fire him immediately. That's pathetic. And by the way, this pains me to admit this, but Moore is the good guy in this. The guy who we thought was a fall guy like a few weeks ago. He says, it was emotions on both sides. I did see they had the flag and guys were waving it around and their guys charged us.
Wow. All right, so I'm still in bumper-to-bumper traffic, and some car just came blasting down the shoulder, like passing everybody.
Do they have Wolverine plates?
I didn't see his plates. It was not a cop car. It was not a utility truck.
Was it a Chevy 3000 or 300 or whatever, an M&M car? Was it M&M?
It was a Lincoln Navigator, probably.
Well, it's a Navigator.
Flashing lights like probably a mile up the road.
What's a Navigator going to do but navigate?
What's that?
What's a Navigator going to do if not navigate, right? Let me finish this quote and then we'll get back to that. There's emotion on both sides. It can't happen. That is accountability. It can't happen. And then he says more. Rivalry games get heated, especially this one. It's the biggest one in the country. So here comes more accountability. You're going to be shocked. So we got to handle that one better. When you're making me side with a Wolverine, I'm sorry, it's over. Day, you're done. Whether it's now or next year, does it really matter? You're done. Like, they don't have a quarterback, like, for sure for next year. I know they got all these highly touted ones, but there's just Chip Kelly and Day are so mid that they'll blow it, and they won't make the playoff next year. They'll have a tougher schedule. So it's like, bye. Aren't they playing Alabama or something next year? Let me check.
Are they really?
Let me check. I think it's somebody tough. It's probably like Bowling Green, but I thought it was Alabama.
I understand the confusion.
Yeah. You know. Okay, so 25 football schedule. Let's go. Texas. Oh my God, it's Texas. Sorry. Texas at home.
Ohio State plays Texas?
Yeah.
Where?
Texas. At Ohio State. But does it matter? They're playing Arch Manning. It's Arch Manning versus whatever portal guy you over-recruit over the guys that did want to go there and then transfer. Because that's what we're going to do.
Are we ready to just crown Texas as the national champions next year?
Next year?
Yeah, when Arch Manning is the quarterback.
I don't know how much they lose on defense.
Doesn't matter. They'll have Arch Manning on offense.
I mean, he's going to be the number one pick, but I don't know what... I don't know who's what. I mean, Georgia won't have Beck anymore, right? So they'll be better. No, seriously, Ohio State could have a different quarterback and different coach. But they have... It just depends what else is coming back for other teams, right? But they will make the playoff, yes. So, yeah, this is tough. They got at Illinois, at Michigan. Wait, what? Oh, they haven't done the order of the schedule yet. Okay, never mind. That MSU schedule was out of order too. So at Illinois, at Michigan, Minnesota at home, Penn State at home, Rutgers at home, UCLA at Purdue, at Washington, at Wisconsin. Oh, they don't play. You know what? He might survive. He might survive one more year because they lose to Texas, they lose at Michigan. Then he's done. Even if they make the playoff by beating Penn State. They have to beat Penn State and not screw anything else up to make the playoffs. But I don't know. I'm coming from the camp of I have that spidey sense about me about bad football and bad sports choices, bad leadership. I think it's because I was cut from the cloth of late stage Perlis, Saban before he got things going, like Saban when he had awful special teams like execution and guys that would later throw elderly landlords off a freaking balcony. When your best player is like a guy that's mentally is someone that's going to throw something off a balcony, like that's not end stage Saban. That was like nascent Saban that we wouldn't pay. And then because you don't pay him, what happens? You get Bobby Williams. And then because you got Bobby Williams, what happens? You get John L. Smith. And because you get John L. Smith, you luck into D'Antonio. Luck into him. And then what happens? When you don't give D'Antonio bonuses early enough in his contract and you let him have bad assistants that are basically his church buddies at this point, and you have a bad, awful recruiting class one year that gets in a bunch of crimes, like guess what? You're going to end up with Mel Tucker. And when you get Mel Tucker, what do you get? A mess, literally. And when you get Mel Tucker's mess, what do you get? uninspiring milquetoast over his head, can't handle the cold, no emotion, bad dresser, John Smith. That's what he is.
Take a shot in his wardrobe.
No, I knew from the jump. I'd never seen him on the sideline because I didn't. How many Oregon State games did I watch? Maybe one last year. But I was like, he's probably fine, because any guy that wasn't essentially pleasuring himself to SA speakers is probably a step up. But we're past that now. We can say, okay, someone else would have been better, and I'm at that stage, right? But if you saw him, he's wearing like this a shirt that Alan from 2.5 Men would wear proudly, and you're like, well, that character is satirical. Like, what is this? Why is this guy doing this? Do we have any NIL to dress this guy? Can't we brand him in something that wouldn't be at Stephen Barry's? Like, what is this? And I know we're inside baseball with Stephen Barry's reference, but I'm sure it's other places too, or was. I think it's just like Fanatics took over that type of market now. But so I saw that, and that was my first. You know, it's like that little. You know, like something goes off. It's like you see someone that has a girl that's really attractive, or a guy, if you're into that, really attractive, but they have crazy eyes, or there's something off. Or they say something that's so profoundly stupid that you're just like, oh, wait a minute. This is going to wear off, but that's not going to wear off. And that new car smell of a coach that literally doesn't pleasure himself on the telephone to people that you hire, doesn't pleasure himself to contractors.
Hey, Zeke, the FCC is going to shut us down if you keep talking about this.
If I keep talking about pleasure? It's the only pleasure we've gotten in the last 2 years was their coach's pleasure. Yeah, I just, okay, so it goes back to that first game, dude. It's the decision to not go for it. I mean, not go for the field goal. You're up 6 against a not very good, but still in the game, Florida Atlantic. Do you think Florida Atlantic's going to score twice? No. So you kick the field goal. You just take the win, and you regroup, and like, you know what? We would have liked to do more there. That's, you take ownership. Go for the mathematical guarantee with a great kicker. He's the best player on the team, dude. Except for Marsh, he's the best player on the team. So, like, you use your best player, take the W, get out of town, put on some different facing stripes, different directional stripes for game 2, and you get back at it, right? I would have been like, okay, I wouldn't have had that spidey sense until like the Michigan game, where I'm like, oh, these are bad decisions. But because he did that, something inside of me just was like bells and whistles, like, uh-oh, crazy eyes, they're dumb, or something like that. And it was just like, I was ranting about it, and no one would listen to me. And then, sure enough, like, others are like, oh, nah, he's not very good. I was like, I told you. Like, it's just like you're conditioned to experience failure. You know when to anticipate failure, right? It's just like the animal that's been caged, and all he expects is a cage. And like, I'm tired of the cage. Oh, I'm tired of it. I don't have to support this. There's other things, and the show will go on. Literally, we will talk about other teams. Like, so I'm curious from your perspective. Like, how do you write about it, or commission others to write about it without having to be so deeply engrossed in it? Like, how do you be that professional, right? Like, maintain that professional distance.
Yeah. Dude, I'm sorry, I hate to tangent back off into this road rage. Like, I was actually just parked. Like,
you were parked?
Yeah, I had put my car in park because this shit is not moving. Now I'm driving 1 mile an hour.
Oh man.
I don't know what the hell is going on.
You're literally 6 and 6.
There's so many flashing lights up ahead.
All of the lights.
So I can't tell how far away it is.
You're 6. You've experienced like the blending of worlds where like you can't escape 6 and 6 purgatory, or 5 and 7 purgatory, sub-purgatorian traffic jam.
Yeah. All right. What else can we talk about, football or sports, to take my mind off of this?
Oh, I would say I think NFL's tomorrow. I'm not. These games are kind of. Let's just reevaluate because we're after week 13.
Let's just tell our voters, or our listeners who we're betting on, what our picks are.
Okay. By the way, I'm crushing you, man.
Oh yeah, I'm having a real bad week.
South Carolina, I that was sort of a wish, but I'm like, Clemson's really not that good, and South Carolina's been playing well. That really could have gone either way, but Clemson just did what they used to do in Clemsoning themselves. They threw an interception in field goal territory. Oklahoma LSU is a high scoring affair, 24-17. So that could go either way. Oklahoma has the ball. It was 24-17 and a half.
LSU was up in that game?
LSU's up, but I don't know if Nussmeier is still playing. I guess he is. He was banged up. Oklahoma's, it's, 12 minutes left in third quarter. They got a ball around midfield, 3rd and 8. So I think you're going to win that one ultimately, but I think I took Oklahoma to keep it close as well. So yeah, I won the first 3, and then which included Green Bay on Monday night, Thanksgiving night. Less said about that game, the better. And then I got South Carolina over Clemson, so I'm up 4. But you've already paid me for half, so kudos to you. You just wanted to get rid of it, I think. So
I paid you as soon as that Lions game was over.
Yeah. So LSU, Oklahoma. You have LSU. I'm still holding on to hope that Kelly will Kelly himself. We both took Texas, Iowa State, and Missouri. Missouri won. Okay, cool. Those were the games that was just. I had to go back and find a game that was suitable because there was only like 10 I found that were good. All right, so I'm 4 for 4 on those NFL games, and you're 3 for 4. You want to just go with the ones we differed on?
For the NFL, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Bengals, Steelers. I like Bengals at home. I don't think the Steelers can score enough points with like a desperate Burrow. The Burrow-Chase connection. It's like, I think those secondary weapons, Chase Brown and Higgins if he's playing, and even Gesicki will step up. Steelers, I think, can limit Chase because they are good defensively. And Burrow will get hit, but I think he holds on the ball enough, or at least turns it over less or equal to Russell Wilson. I do think the Steelers should play both quarterbacks situationally, and I just don't think 6 field goals is enough to beat Joe Burrow, and it's at home, right? It's in the Bengals territory, and it's a pick'em game. It's -2.5. I just went with Bengals. What about you for Steelers? Any particular point of pride there?
I mean, you kind of already hit it. It's about the defense. I just think they can stop Cincy. First of all, this is going to be a cold, snowy game, most likely.
It is?
Yeah, I think so.
Did you look it up, or do you just think so? I mean, Ohio State is not that far from Columbus, is not that far from Cincy, and there was no weather in Columbus.
That's where this whole weather pattern that I'm in is moving.
Oh, it's not headed east or south?
Yeah.
Okay, it's west. It's like western or east? No, it is east. Sorry. Cincinnati's by West Virginia. Yeah, by West Virginia. Okay. Oh, and Kentucky.
It's south of Columbus.
Okay.
It's south of Detroit, south of Michigan.
Okay.
And the shit that I'm in is heading that way.
All right, that makes sense. I mean, cool. Okay, so, yeah, that does surely help. But Russell Wilson throwing moon balls, like, are those moon balls going to get caught? Who's the key player in the game? I think it's Pickens.
Correct.
Can they get in his head? Or can those moon balls? It's like, how many moon balls? Over or under 2.5 moon balls. I think they need to hit the over for them to win. Unless Burrow gets popped, right? Because Burrow's, like, parts are going to freeze. He's just, like, cool, calm, collected Burrow with his cool hair. 1999 sun in. Is he going to lead them to glory of 5-7 or not?
Well, Joe Cool, that was his nickname, remember?
My friend says he has a cold Soviet demeanor. And so I don't know why, but I like it. And he does kind of look like he could be Drago's son, but with a little bit with shades of Draco, but with like Drago hair. He's Draco Drago.
In what was that? I think it was Creed 2. They had Drago's son.
Oh, does he look like Joe Burrow?
No.
Does Dolph Lundgren taking a paternity test for Joe Burrow yet? I think he's done well enough that it's like, oh, I'm proud of you, son. Like, you want him to be your son versus, like, a situation you're just like, it's just some guy. I don't need to step up.
Can we talk about how Drago does not look Russian at all, though?
He didn't?
No, he looks like
Swedish.
Northern European, like a German.
Well, no, he looks like a Viking. He looks like a Viking, right? Well, he's like short hair.
Yeah, no, that's not.
But they gave him Russian, like, spiky Zangief hair. Right? So it's like... And also, keep in mind, they had a lot of territory in 1985. So, like, they had a little bit more territory at 85, so I don't know. He could have been East German. That's Soviet Union, dude.
He may have been Estonian.
Estonian, Soviets, Eastern German, Slovak, or some type. Like, they literally had, like, a third of the globe was the Soviet Union. So we were like, we're getting the nitty-gritty about fictional characters. You know it's a traffic jam or avoidance of angry rants if we're talking about 1985 films. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think that's a tough one. I think certainly $1 is going to happen. I don't think it's a tie. Okay, the next one, Colts and Pats. I'm so glad that I have to care about this worthless game. I'm so glad. I actually think you're going to win that one. I'm going to
tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I know we've got $1 on it.
Yeah.
But I still don't care. That's a toilet bowl.
Well, welcome to gambling. It's like there's an amount where you're like, versus like, I only had $5 on that, or I only had $1 on that. Whatever, it's fine. Like, I was kind of secretly glad that Ohio State just like their fans know going and they have no chance to win the playoff at this point. Like, that's somehow more exciting to me than, like, winning a few bucks. Because I don't like either team, so I want there to be, like... It's maybe better if they screw up their gravy train by getting someone that's somehow worse than Day or a worser fit, a less good fit somehow even than Day, and scare away quarterback recruits and other guys. So, like, other NIL... People are just going to... It's going to be a free-for-all. They're going to poach and negatively recruit against this guy. And then the same token... If Michigan thinks this coach is going to be the long-term solution, right? So maybe this was perfect. It's just like, I know I want to do a whole bigger segment on basically what we always end up like literally leaning heavy on Bears and Lions content. I want to do that after this weekend of games. But the same thing, it's just like, will you take whatever the short-term suffering for the long-term, whatever benefits you or what you think benefits you, like, that's what happened today. And that's what happened with me for the Bears the last insufferable 6 weeks. By the way, real quick, I was at Flus's last win. And it was in September.
Jesus.
Brutal. But yeah, Colts and Pats. I think the Pats will still find a way to stay in the Hunter, what's his face? Travis Hunter, right? Travis Hunter sweepstakes and the number 1 pick. So I do think... the Colts will gut this out, and that's literally the only reason I pick some of these games based on inertia, and that's what I did. These garbage games. You had a brain fart when you put dollar bet on Seahawks and Hawks. That's the same team, by the way. And you're like, dollar bet, yes. And I was like, did you mean to take the Jets?
No.
Okay, because you totally put on the and I erased it. Because it was dumb. I put nothing. Okay, Commanders, Titans. Yeah, we didn't bet on that. Saints and Rams. I do think Stafford, their passing game against a bad secondary. If Saints don't get home in the pass rush, I think they stink. They stink something fierce.
I don't trust the Rams. Like, they are such a schizophrenic team. Like,
No,
they
you're-
can be really
yeah.
good, and then they can be really bad a week later.
Well, they don't have a lot. They have a lot of young talent on defense, and if they don't click or they're playing a team that has burst, which Saints don't. I mean, I think you're going to win this one too. Actually, okay. I do think that I'm definitely going to win the Eagles-Ravens one. I think the Eagles are. I'm not saying they're a Megazord, but they're in.
This game is at Ravens, right?
Yeah. It's not snowing here.
No. Okay.
I'm like an hour and 10 minutes from
the
Baltimore.
end of it, they are pushing us all into one lane. This is
Woo!
great. So that means I must be getting real close. Oh, come on, dude. Stop trying to drive around people.
You have to play You Can Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac really loud as you peel out. Or Here I Go Again on My Own by Whitesnake. Like, this has to happen for you. I need this for you.
Should I do commentary as I drive through this crime scene?
Is there a crime?
It's a crime that I just had to deal with this. No,
You should just flip out like a Keystone Stadium cop and just like pepper spray everybody.
Should I roll my window down as I drive by and just yell at the paramedics? Like, get this shit off the road.
Yes, please yell at drastically underpaid paramedics. Mid-Michigan paramedics that are like...
I'm trying to get home.
I
want to get to my dog.
so much meth cases. So many meth cases in mid-Michigan that underpaid paramedics have to address at 3 in the afternoon and 3 in the morning and at no other times. So yes, they 100% deserve to be screamed at by some guy minorly inconvenienced because he chose to go to 5-7 Snowmageddon football.
It was 5-6 before I went.
It was a 5-6 stadium pass.
5-6 going on 5-7.
The sideline pass, 5-6 blogger stadium sideline pass is the most dedicated thing I've ever heard, and I love it. I'm really excited for you.
Oh, whoa, what is this? They are pulling... Oh, somebody straight went way off-road.
Ooh.
They're like, oh, damn, that's like... Dude, somebody went into a ditch.
Yeah.
All for one car, though?
Michigan State football went into a ditch.
All right, I'm driving again. Here we go.
Let's go. Vroom, vroom. You can go your own way. Oh, your own...
That was awful.
Was it Tucker level satisfaction getting out of that traffic jam?
Yes, exactly what it was.
Was it like, this is so good, this is worth blowing $80 million good? Like, let's go. I've never had it that good back in my single days where I'm like, $80 million, or my podunk equivalent of it. Out the window, doesn't matter, felt good, don't regret it. Speaking of having it good, how about Josh Allen? Congratulations.
Yeah, what actress did he just get married to?
Is it Stenfeld? Is that how you say it? Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Haley Seinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld's niece, Haley Seinfeld, who was in True Grit.
She's got other Hollywood people in her family, like her father and her uncle, I think, were both actors or something.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Actually, I think her uncle was like the infomercial guy, or... Like,
her uncle was Rip Torn? Her uncle was Rip Torn, and her grandmother was Cloris Leachman, or Florence... What was her name? I don't know, I'm just pulling stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, no, they look like...
They have like the same last name.
They look happy together, dude. That's good. That means he's going to perform well on my fantasy team down the stretch after I trade for him, right? Or should I go with Caleb? What should I do?
Well, how good... I mean, let's look at other recent quarterbacks getting engaged. You had Aaron Rodgers getting engaged to Shailene Woodley.
They got engaged?
I mean, they ended up calling it off, but she realized that he's Aaron Rodgers.
She realized that she's kookier than he's kookier than ayahuasca in your off season is weirder than just like, I don't eat meat.
I think we need to do a historical deep dive into how did Aaron Rodgers perform in the immediate aftermath of his engagement, and then find other quarterbacks.
I don't know, man.
We got to do a little research for our next episode.
I think you have to like more so like every several relationships he's had, like including with his family and reality. We go like relationships breakdown record. We analyze the family splitting apart, only him and everyone else is intact. And then the third one was the final one was this splitting entirely from reality. And then the fourth one actually coming around and maybe being right about COVID, some elements of COVID. but he was still a dick anyways. Because you don't lie about taking a jab, right? Just like, I don't want to do it. Find me. I don't care. I'm rich. Say that. Don't just be like, oh yeah, I didn't say I took it. You said I took it. Like, what a dick. Please go away, Aaron Rodgers. Or stay in politics. Why not? You belong in politics. America probably deserves Aaron Rodgers in other capacities. He should be ever present like Snoop Dogg and Kevin Hart, just everywhere. I want to turn on the TV, look at my phone, look at a road sign, anything, a billboard, and see only these 4 people, okay? Snoop Dogg, Kevin Hart, Aaron Rodgers, and Ken Jeong. And that's all I get. That's a Mount Rushmore of all I see forever for the rest of my life. They showed, hey, Ken Jeong went to Duke apparently. You know, when he was a valuable human being and he was a doctor or becoming a doctor, and then he's like, nah, we don't need more doctors. We need more guys showing their dongs in comedy movies, and then 2 bad sequels, and then go on the Masks of the whatever it's called. What is it called? Masked Singer? What the hell? That's more important than being a doctor? Oh my God. I didn't think my angry rant would be about Ken Jeong and not MSU football or the Bears. So we both had the Bills winning this week. Good for.
I think we were on the Ravens Eagles, weren't we?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Why did you take the Ravens? Because they're the Ravens. They can score.
Yeah. I think they really need a win, and also I really would like to see Eagles just lose a game finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a hard pick.
They're 8-4. Why do they need to win that bad?
Because they just lost like 2 of their last 3. They've got a division race.
No, they started off 0-2. They've also lost the Browns like a month ago, and then they lost to somebody.
They lost to the Steelers.
Oh, the Steelers. Yeah, they lost the Browns, Steelers, and they lost their first 2 games to somebody in the Raiders, the Chiefs and the Raiders. They're fine, man.
I don't know.
They're
But
fine.
also, yeah, as I said, I need Philly to lose the game and stop breathing down the Lions' neck.
Okay, fair enough.
Lions have too many injuries right now.
Yeah. I still think the Eagles and the Chiefs are the only teams that I would pick over the Lions in a playoff game at this point. I would worry a little bit about the Packers if you're not forcing turnovers on Love. They're quite decent. I would not worry about the Vikings. The Bucks have done it before, and you guys have a history with them recently. Like, you've played a couple times, so I think that's more of a known quantity. Seattle, nah. San Francisco is really injured. I don't think they even make the playoffs. Minnesota, no. That's Sam Darnold. Now you're gonna Sam Darnold it, aren't you? Like, I think
you're only gonna have the division winner from the NFC West, and that's it. I don't think they're gonna get a wild card team.
So you think a South team gets it?
Wild card team is either gonna be Washington or from the South.
Yeah, don't worry. I promise you, I have not yet done scenarios in which the Bears go 9-8. I don't want to even consider that possibility. I'm just going to try to enjoy flus-free football. And now that MSU is not playing anymore, it is truly flus-free football. You know, it's fine. Flus-free football, baby. I've come unchained. You don't want to know how I celebrated that, by the way.
I don't, and you're not going to say it on the air.
It's unairable. FCC, yeah, you know me. Won't let me be. We got to wrap this up.
Yeah, did we go through all of our NFL picks?
I think we did. I mean, we both took the Broncos over the Browns.
All right, let's just end this road rage episode.
Yeah, let's just
see you next time, kid.
Just drive safe. Drive safe, and remember, 5 and 7 football support group. We're your guys. Go to signupexpert.com/$bets with a Z. Make some picks. get us paid so we can use that money for anything, for a little bit of 5-7 perpetual mediocrity copium. Okay. Also, I gotta go pay a psychic to tell me that the new coach is gonna be good for me, for the Bears. Okay. I need to know that it's gonna be okay. It's not. It's never gonna be, and that's okay. But I need to use your gambling money to pay for a psychic. Okay. I'm just gonna do that. I want to do that. I'm doing that. Bye.
Everyone has heard about the U.S. space program, but what is actually going on at NASA? Get the real story in 4 minutes or less with the NASA Daily Podcast from Electricast. Join astronauts and researchers as they conduct groundbreaking experiments, work on the International Space Station, and reach for the stars. NASA Daily, your cosmic update.
Electricast.
Hey, heard you like podcasts. Well, check out Dollar Bets. Two sports guys with faces for radio, betting live money against each other on air. That's Dollar Bets with a Z. Find us on the Winner's Edge.
Electricast.